and Tasty Cakes podcast. I'm Bert Lepore. He's Sammy of Monte Carlo. We're hanging here with Angry Mike D, and we talk about music, movies, and so much more. I know you're looking for a real good time, though. So let me introduce you to a friend of mine. I'm Malice. I'm the master of madness, the son of surprise. I'm Malice.
All right, we're back. Another episode of Mixtapes and Tasty Cakes. We think it's episode 137. We can be mistaken. It could be somewhere in that vicinity.
Yeah.
But this one we're going to review the new Alice Cooper record called Road, which for me it kind of flew under the radar. What it just came out like last week,
Friday.
right?
Last Friday.
Yeah, I knew he was working on something. I didn't realize that it had come out.
He's quick.
I feel like he just put Detroit out.
He pounds them out quick.
He
man.
does. Yeah, he puts them out like he's got to be like almost like an album every 18 months, it seems.
Yes. Oh, yes.
Between that and Hollywood Vampires doing something, there's always something going on.
Yeah. Yeah. Man.
Very, very productive.
Yep.
Yeah, so we're going to review this record and see what our thoughts are.
Yeah. Always with the review, what we do is we take how many tracks on the record. So there's 13 tracks on the record, and we count down from 13 or whatever it is on the record to number 1. And it's just not saying songs are bad or good. It's just, our least favorite to our favorite. And this album, we'll get to our final thoughts, Dan, but this album overall is pretty damn good.
Yeah.
So it's Alice Cooper, Road. And a little info on this. It's kind of like a concept record where a lot of the songs have to do with being on the road and what it's like to be on the road. And it's also, I think the deal was he wanted to record this with his live band. So
Which
everything
he hardly ever does.
Right, exactly. So everything he's doing, it's with this album, it was a live recording, no overdubs. He wanted to get the feel of a total live band, and his band's stellar. Yeah, so pretty cool record, but we'll get into it. So Alice Cooper Road came out 2023, came out last week, really. So we're going to start off with coming in at number 13 for us, Big Boots. What do you got, Damo?
I kind of like this song. It has it has kind of like a 70s, like an early 70s kind of feel, which seems to be the overall vibe on this record, which I really, really like. Because it's been a while since he did that. There's always some like shredder or some shreddy type stuff. It doesn't really feel like Alice Cooper to me when he does that stuff, or some heavier, darker stuff. But this is more in line with like the original band. And this song did remind me of something that they would do, the original band, Big Boots. I personally gave it a 7.5. But yeah, it came out, out of 13 tracks, it came out at number 13 overall. So, all
right, Damo puts it in the warm section. Goes to Mike D.
Yeah, a little warm for me. This is probably the lowest on there. Was the lowest on there for me at a 6.5. I don't know, a little cheesy, but I'm not as big of an Alice Cooper fan as you guys are. Not to say that I don't like him. I just really am starting to get into him. So, but for me, it was just a little too much on the cheese. Little filler track.
Yep. To give you guys, the way we do the ratings, we do it by, from 1 to 10, we rate it. And like loosely, I'll put up here how we do the hot, cold. So it's ice cold, warm, hot, fire. So that's how I kind of do the thing. I'll put up it on the screen now so you can check it out. So, okay. So I gave Big Boots a 6.5. It's in the cold area for me. I like it. I still like it, but it's a fun song. Alice throws in some comedy, which he does often, especially with the old stuff.
Yeah, tongue-in-cheek stuff.
It's not a bad tune. It's pretty good. It's a great filler song. It's a good song to be put on the record. It's not the hit, but it's a good filler song. So even though it kind of hits the cold area for me, it's closer to the warm area. It's borderlines that. All right, coming in at number 12, Rules of the Road. What you got, Damo?
I wasn't really too crazy about this. It kind of has sort of like kind of like a honky tonk kind of vibe, almost like a ZZ Top kind of feel to it. I gave it a 6.5, which was the lowest rating I gave any song, which is, it's not bad. It's just like right in the middle.
Yeah,
you say cold. I see that more like warm.
Getting warm. Yeah.
But yeah, so that definitely wasn't one of my favorite ones. To me, I thought it was a bit of a filler.
Mike D.
Yeah, I can feel that. I didn't hate the song. Yeah, I gave it a 7, but yeah, it kind of felt a little fillerish. You got 13 tracks on this album, which I don't know. I believe in today's day, 13's a lot. I think you got to stick around 10. 10's the magic number for tracks on an album. So, but it wasn't a terrible song.
Yep. Rules of the Road. I gave it a 7.35. It lands in my warm section here. It's another real fun song. It's not as good as the rest of the record, but I do enjoy the track. And it's like most of this record. It's fun. Even the songs that aren't the great songs is still fun. So okay, moving on to number 11. We got a little Who cover song here. Magic Bus. What you got, Damo?
Yeah, it was actually a pretty cool cover. I mean, out of all the Who songs, that's not one of my favorite ones, but I thought they did a pretty good job with it. I actually gave it a 7 out of 10. It was decent. Probably won't have to listen to it again, but
good thing they made it the last track.
Yeah.
Mike D.
Yeah, I stuck with the 7 on this one. I mean, it wasn't horrible, but guess what? It fit with the concept of the album, the whole thing about being on the road. I'm not a cover song guy, but this song actually fit on the album. So, in grand scheme of things, it works.
Yeah. I'm going to agree with you. Magic Bus, I also gave it a 7. Totally hit the warm section for us. It's a pretty good cover. It makes sense why it's on here. It's heavier than the original version, of course. It's got a nice distortion opening that kind of reminds me of the song from Pearl Jam. I don't know if it's Alive or one of those.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
It's got that jam riff.
Yeah.
But I would have preferred another original Alice instead. But it's still damn good for what it is. And I guess with the concept of the record, it makes sense. But I don't, that's one I really don't need to hear. All right, guys, coming in at number 10. Baby, Please Don't Go. What you got, Damo?
I thought this was a good song. I gave it a 7 out of 10. It was it's a ballad, like an acoustic acousticy kind of ballad. I thought it was a good song. Didn't really remind me of like an Alice Cooper song per se, but overall I thought it was a pretty good song.
Okay. Mike D.
Yeah, same thing. It really didn't hit me as an Alice Cooper song. It kind of really sounded like it could be like a lost Bon Jovi song, to tell you the truth. Yeah. Given like he actually kind of sung on this one a little bit, which is something at least I don't hear him doing too much.
Baby, Please Don't Go. I gave it a 7.35. Lands in my warm section. It's a decent little ballad. Alice sings pretty good. It could probably fit on Trash, this song, from the Trash album. It definitely has that Bon Jovi vibe. Definitely got that going on. It's not bad. It's okay. It's okay for what it is. All right, guys, moving on to number 9. All Over the World. What you got, Damo?
Yeah, I like this one too. I gave it another one 7 out of 10. I had like a Rolling Stones vibe with the horns. Even remind me of like Michael Monroe, like something what he's doing now. Like definitely just like a straight up rock and roll type song, feel good kind of vibe. I really do like those horns. I used to hate horns.
I like them
when I was younger, but I like horns when they're done in a way like they are on this song.
Yeah, when the accents,
I approve for that. Yeah.
Yep, Mike D, what you got?
Yeah, I thought this is a good rock and roll song. I gave it a 7, and I give it the 7's actually pretty good. So
yeah.
I think I handed out a few of them.
Yeah, nothing got lower than a 6.5 on this record, which means it's pretty good. Okay, All Over the World. I gave it a 7.45. It's in my warm section. The first thing I hear with the opening riff, it reminds me of course, not as heavy or as distorted. It reminds me of God of Thunder. It's got a little it's got a little bit of that God of Thunder kind of riff in it, which is funny. Then it goes into a fun little rhythm with the woos. I like the woos in it. It's another fun song. It's a throwback. It's definitely a throwback tribute to the words. With the I like it, I love it. He's got that thrown in there. Definitely,
I like it when classic bands do that. They kind of rip themselves off a little bit.
They throw in a little, blatant Easter eggs.
Right. Sort of like Paul Stanley did in Bang Bang You.
Yeah, shoot you down with my love.
I'll pull it right. Not quite, but yeah, just had to throw that
in for yes, it's a fun tune. Like I said, this record's just a lot of fun. Okay, going on to number 8, Road Rats Forever. What you got, Damo?
Yeah, I thought it was decent. I gave it 6.5 out of 10. Another one more like a rock and roll vibe, but it wouldn't not as catchy as the other ones. It didn't really do that much for me. And like I mentioned before, 6.5 was the lowest rating I gave any song on the album. So not my cup of tea, but not bad,
Yeah. Mike D, what you got?
I gave this one an 8, and I think maybe at this point of the album, I was so into the album, like, man, this is really good. And who else? When did you ever hear other songs really written about a roadie? So,
I gave us a 7. Hits the warm section for me again. It kicks off with a catchy beat into a riff that reminds me of Janet Jackson's Black Cat a little bit, and then into like this blues, that den, like a typical kind of blues kind of accent, bad, I don't know, what I mean, bad to the bone-ish or something. It's got that in there,
Yeah.
It sounds like old Alice. It's very 70-ish, and I definitely dig it. I dig this one. This one's a fun song too. All right, going on to number 7, Go Away. What you got, Damo?
Yeah, I like this one. I gave it 7.5 out of 10. It's got like an up tempo kind of like fun vibe type song. I really enjoyed it.
Mike D.
Yeah, another little fun song. I gave it a 7. It went by quick. Good song.
I gave Go Away a 7.25. Another one hits the warm section for me. Cool riff opens it up. A fun Alice melody. The use of the words that she texts, she writes made me laugh. It made me giggle. She texts, she writes. It's like Alice coming into the modern day thing.
Right, yeah.
So, but, he does that stuff, He throws that in. It's a solid tune, and I love the main riff of the song. The main riff is really, really good. All right, guys, coming in at number 6. Welcome to the show. What you got, Damo?
Yeah, I gave it 7.5 out of 10. I really like this one. I could see this kind of like being the live set. Another up tempo kind of song,
Yeah. Mike D, welcome to the show.
Yeah, I like this. This was kind of fast, heavy, driving. It kind of should have been the first song on it, but it was a good song.
Yeah. I love the guitar tone on this album. It's a solid tune. I like that. It's so cool. It's all the rage. It made me same thing. Made me smile. Made me laugh. It really sounds like Alice from the 70s to me, like the Alice Cooper band. It's definitely got that vibe to it. It's really good. It's classic Alice for me. Another fun one. Okay, moving on to top 5. Here we go. Number 5, White Line Frankenstein. What you got, Davo?
One of my least favorite ones. I wasn't too crazy about it. I gave it 6.5 out of 10. Tom Morello's on this.
Was that your big turn off on that?
No, not at all. I like Tom Morello. I know you don't. I like I like him more than I like his music.
Yeah, there you
go. I like him because he's a knowledgeable like rock and metal fan, and he really wears his heart on his sleeve when it comes to that stuff. But musically, like I want to like his stuff more, but it has nothing to do with him. They could have had Eddie Van Halen on his track. I probably would have had the same feeling about it. It just kind of the riff. I just thought was a little boring and didn't really do much for me. That's all.
Mike D, White Line, Frankenstein.
I kind of like this one, man. I gave this an 8.5. This is one of the higher ones I gave on the album. I felt like it had that dirty vibe, like a little Stone Temple Pilots meets Guns N' Roses feel to it.
Yeah.
And again, it's just another fun song on top of it.
Yeah.
But I really like this one.
White Line, Frankenstein, I gave it an 8.5. Hits my hot section. Man, another one that I think is great. The riff is so good. It's got a pumping beat. It's got the keys in it. Alice does the talk ramble thing in the verse, but fits so well going into the pre-chorus, which is real good. And the chorus is simple but memorable. I definitely dig it. That White Line, Frankenstein, fucking love it. Alice uses Frankenstein like Dio uses Rainbow. It's great.
That's at least 2 songs, right?
Oh, there's at least 3. Three or
Oh,
four.
yeah?
At least
I
3.
think about 3. Yeah.
You got Feed of My Frankenstein.
This one.
I know that one.
What's off the album with the hand?
Hey, Stupid, right?
Yeah, but no, that's Feed My Frankenstein. There's Teenage Frankenstein. That's another one.
Yeah.
And then White Line Frankenstein. I don't know if there's more, but there's definitely 3.
There's got to be 4. I don't know. There's definitely 3. We know that.
We might have to do an episode if there's a lot more.
How many
Frankensteins?
Yeah, or what monsters pop up where?
Yeah.
Episode on Frankenstein. Yeah, I've used that line a couple times. Yeah, great song though. Number 4, Dead Don't Dance. What you got, Damo?
Yeah, it was a pretty cool tune. Featuring Kane Roberts. Don't forget that.
Should I know him? Am I?
Yeah, he was a Rambo-looking guitar player for
the big muscle
Cooper.
guy who came back for a little bit.
Yeah, he looked like Rambo back in the 80s.
See, I wasn't really listening to Cooper back then, so I'm not really.
Dude, he had a guitar that looked like a machine gun. Like he was playing up the whole Rambo look. He looked like fucking Rambo, and he played in Alice Cooper's band. Dude, he was buff as shit.
Yeah,
he had the hair like Rambo. Everything. It was basically fucking Stallone on guitar. His band.
That's great. I might have to go look this up now.
But he rejoined the band briefly for when Anita Strauss wasn't playing with them last year. So, but he came back and then she replaced him again. But yeah, I gave it 7.25 out of 10. Not bad. That riff in the intro and verse, it's so familiar. Like I've heard it on so many different songs.
Sure.
You know?
Yeah.
It's got a cool groove though. But yeah, it didn't really set the world on fire for me.
Mike D, Dead Don't Dance.
Another one I gave an 8.5, man. I just felt like this is heavy, just this brooding sound to it, man. This hit the spot for me.
Dead Don't Dance, I gave it an 8.25. Hits my hot section. It's another cool opening riff. Great melody. The vocal tone. I really like the vocal tone of the song. A really good pre-chorus. Another simple, hooky, memorable chorus. I love the guitar tone. I mean, I'm big on the guitar tone on this record. And the thumping bass. Really cool guitar solo. Yeah, I mean, this band is so good. I like the heavy riff too. It definitely worked for me. All right, guys, we're moving on to the top 3. Damo, The Big Goodbye.
I love this song. I probably should have gave it a higher rating than 8. I love the guitar riff, man. That makes it for me. It's a real fucking ass kicking tune. The riff is it's pretty heavy, probably one of the heavier Alice Cooper riffs. Really good chorus. Yeah, great tune. 8 out of 10 I gave it, and we have it at number 3, so we all kind of collectively liked it.
Yep. Mike D, what you got?
Gave it an 8.5. I was like, man, this is a heavy ass song. I'm like, I don't know if Alice has done anything this heavy before. This is a good song.
Yeah, The Big Goodbye, I gave it an 8. Hits the hot section. It's a chugging rocker, followed by a cool guitar hook in the verse. It's pretty heavy, man. It's got a nice big build up, that opens up into the pre-chorus, into a hooky chorus. Really cool guitar solo. Just a good, the kind of song that, if you're in the car, it's a good driving song.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Really, really, really good song. Number 2, 100 More Miles. What you got, Damo?
Yeah, this was a really good song. I gave it 7.75 out of 10. And really felt like an old school Alice Cooper tune. Kind of like an epic-y kind of song, except it's not long like an epic song. It's only like 3 minutes long.
Right.
But definitely had that kind of feel, like, it kind of takes you on a journey, kind of moody, and has like that Welcome to My Nightmare kind of vibe to it.
You know, even Ballad of the White Friar's got some of that kind of
yeah,
feel to
yeah,
it.
yeah. But the
Yep.
piano and the eeriness of it,
Yeah, man. Yep. Mike D.
I gave this one an 8. I probably should have gave it a little bit higher. Damien took exactly what I was going to say about this one. It was an epic feel to it, and it was only about a 3 or 4 minute song. But This is a good one. This is a really good one.
Yeah, I gave it a 9. It hits the fire for me. So, yeah, I think this song's fantastic. The beginning is just awesome. All the creepy stuff going on. The beginning is so good. Classic Alice from the 70s. I like the words, the weird background noise, the huge build up into the pre-chorus and the chorus. This song is a super, super strong one for me. Yeah, Alice sounds great, man. And so does the band. And yeah, the production on the record sounds great. Yeah, this song, definitely one of my memorable songs off the record. All right, guys, coming in at number 1, I'm Alice. What you got, Damo?
Man, I gave it a 9 out of 10. This song, it's like a fucking classic Alice Cooper song. Like, it sounds like it should be on $1 Billion Babies. And it reminds me so much of, I think, Elected.
Yes, it does.
Maybe.
Yes.
Right.
Yep.
This is like
same feel.
It's like the bass line is the same. It's like Elected Part 2. It's so fucking good. Like, I really did capture that old vibe, man. And yeah, it was like pretty much like what you always wanted them to do again. And 9 out of 10. I could have gave it closer to 10, if not a 10. Perfect 10. It was just really good opener. I mean, it could have flip flop with Welcome to the Show. That could have been the opening track, and this one could have been second. But I guess if it is sort of like a concept album, then it probably does make sense. But yeah, really good.
Nice. Mike D. I'm Alice.
Another really great song. I gave it an 8. You know what? I probably should have gave it a 9, maybe a little higher than that. But it definitely has that old school Alice feel to this one. And I don't know, as a whole, listening to the whole album, it actually sounds like the album kind of goes through his whole career with what he's kind of doing, what he kind of did. So you kind of get like everything mixed into one.
Yep. I'm Alice. I gave it a 9. Fire. It's in the fire section for me. Classic Alice. This is what he does best. It really is. His phrasing with the words and storytelling as he talks about his character, Alice. Man, when I first heard the song, I thought it was good. And then I listened to it more and more. And the more and more I listened to it, I'm like, this song's great. So this would build up quick, After a couple listens, I'm like, this song's fantastic. I like that it's got really cool drum parts in the middle. The chorus reminds me of something Peter Criss would do with the drums. And he's got a lot of that toms kind of, there's a lot of that kind of stuff going on.
It's funny. I think I even mentioned that to you before, like
maybe, yeah.
When we were the other day when we were listening to it.
Yeah,
it reminds me of Peter Criss the way he's drumming.
I get a Kiss vibe in some of these songs. It's definitely got that 70s, not saying it sounds like Kiss, but it's definitely got that 70s thing going on throughout the record. Yeah, the breakdown part with the talk is great. The guitar solo is great. Great way to start off the album. I thought it was a good choice to start off the album. All right, guys. So before we go into our final rankings, final thought, Damo.
Yeah, I thought it was really good. Not much filler on the record. There was some songs I thought were slightly better than good. Some didn't have that much replay value, but I would definitely listen to this album, in the future. Sometimes you listen to it, I was like, it's okay. I probably won't listen to it again. But I think this one I would listen to. And the guy's 75 years old and he's still
Unbelievable.
putting out good music. He surrounds himself with a great band, and he's fortunate. I don't know. I'm pretty sure Bob Ezrin did this, right?
I think he
Did he
did.
produce
Yes.
the record?
Yep.
That's like his guy since like 1970. I mean, he's
Yep.
fortunate to have a guy like that in his career, that has been making almost every record with him, aside from a few. I mean, that's he's like a band member, the guy, and so he knows what it's. If Al says, "Yeah, I want to do it. I want to do an album that harkens back to the original band." Well, he knows what the fuck he's talking about. So
Oh,
he
absolutely.
capture that, and his band members, they respect his legacy and his history and everything, so they know what to do. And I'm real happy there's not a lot of like 80s shredder type stuff, because that would probably kill it for me. And I like that stuff, but for this kind of vibe, it wasn't needed, and there was none of that, thank God.
Yeah.
Which makes it even, more of a perfect album for him. It was really good with, and I really recommend it.
Mike D, final thought?
Final thought, like with some of the later stuff I heard of his, this definitely stands out. And it's just probably one I'm going to eventually pick up when it's not $40.
Yeah, I was going to say that. Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like $40 right now on Amazon. It's like, I think it's only a special edition out right now. At least that's what I saw.
Yeah.
But it's like a red marble color. It's pretty, it's nice
Comes with a
looking. It comes
DVD,
with
though. A whole
yeah.
concert. So, I mean, that's kind of cool.
It might be worth picking up then. Who knows?
Final thought, Mike?
Final thought. This is a really good album. I could definitely go back and listen to this one again. I think I listened to it 4 times already, and I'm not tired of it.
Yeah. Yep. I think I'm on like my 5th or 6th, believe it or not, already. That's how much I liked it.
Yeah, I'm on that too.
Yeah. Alice is, like Dame said, Alice is 75 at this point, and he's still as good as ever. Really. The last 3 records he put out, Paranormal, Detroit Stories, and The Road, all 3 of them I love. They're all really, really good. I mean, the band's fucking amazing. They're just amazing. It's really good that he got that classic Alice sound, a classic Alice theme. It even sounds like, he's a legend, and he's a legend. And I definitely think this stands up to anything he's done in the past. The only low I had with Alice Cooper that I thought his stuff kind of lacked a little bit was probably maybe like, I'm going to say 79-ish to like 82 or something like that, where it was kind of like Zipper Catches Skin and like a couple of those records.
He was really fucked up then.
Yeah, Special Forces. Like, I wasn't really big on
some
them.
People like
records,
that. I mean, that was like his art rock period.
Yeah, I could do without like them 2 or 3 in that little. But besides that, I mean, I love most of his stuff, and Alice is usually hit or miss with me. It's either I love it or it's okay. And I'm like, yeah. But there's more I like than I don't like, and this is definitely in the like section. So I definitely, if you're looking for a fun record to listen to that has a great sound, has that classic 70s sound, but it sounds so full, and the production's incredible. I definitely recommend this record. And we go through the ratings here. On a scale of 1 to 10, I gave it a 7.63. Mike gave it a 7.61. Damo gave it a 7.3, and the rating goes in the heavy warm section for a 7.55. So it's definitely a recommended record.
It could have been a little bit higher too.
Should have been higher. I was a little disappointed it didn't get in the total hot section, but yeah, it could have been a little higher.
We're doing it by song. I mean, if I had to give this a rating, it would probably be an 8.5.
So 7.5 out of 10 is still pretty fucking good for 13 songs.
I think it's good, but I think what we do now, if we all agree on it, we take that 7.55 and bump it up to an 8 and put it in the hot section. You go with that? I'm good with that.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah, round up.
That's it. It's getting an 8. Very good record. He'll probably be putting out one in about 6 months. He'll probably put out a live record and then another record after that. Yeah. So next week we're going to have Rat Rod on. We're going to talk about the Rust Fest that's happening at Tom and Jerry's September 24th. It's an early show from like 3 to maybe 8, 3 to 9, something like that. So we'll have more information for that next week. What the topic of the show will be, we don't know yet, but it'll be fun. The Rat Rod guys are always a good time. And yeah, that's about it. Mixtapes and Taste Cake. See you next week.